As we have finished the Yamim Noraim, the Yemei Bricha El Hashem, the running towards Hashem, the Yamim Noraim, we all know it's Tshuva Miyira. And now as we're getting ready for Sukkot, we all know that it's called Zman Simchatenu. I wanted to just share a thought about the Simcha in general and specifically on Sukkot. In general, we know that the Rabbeinu Bachai, quoting in the Tochacha, that the reason why the terrible curses happen is Tachat Ashelo Avarata Hashem Elokecha B'Simcha U'V'Tuv Levav, because we don't serve the Ribono Shalom b'Simcha. And Rabbeinu Bachai Rishon explains that every time you fulfill a mitzvah b'Simcha, you fulfill the mitzvah and also a second additional fulfillment of doing it b'Simcha. This is in general, but it's also specific to Sukkot, because Sukkot is supposed to teach us how to serve Hashem b'Simcha. And what's fascinating is if you read the Rambam in Perachet of Hilchot Lulav, he explains that even though all the other holidays, Afagav Shekol HaMoadot, there is a mitzvah to be Misameach, B'Chag HaSukkot there was a Simcha Yetera, Shenemar Usmachtem Lifnei Hashem Elokechem Shivat Yamim. And he explains in Halach Yud Gimel what was the Simcha. They would have the different musical instruments, each person according to their abilities. And they would dance and dance and dance and dance. But then if you continue reading, Halach Yud he says, Mitzvah la'arbo b'simcha zo. But it wasn't everybody, shockingly. You would think that it should be party for everybody. But because this is the model of what Simcha is, explains the Rambam, it's not everybody, carte blanche, everyone who just wanted to be b'sameach. El gedolei chachmei Yisrael, Rashi Yeshivot, the Sanhedrin, Chasidim, Hazkenim, V'anshe Maisa. They were the ones who were mirakdim. They were the ones who were playing in Misamchim and the Mikdash at the times of Sukkot. What did all the Kol Ha'am do? They would watch. Hanashim, Kulam bi'im lirot v'lishma. Sounds like Hakotel, we read a couple of weeks ago in Parshas Vayelech. Coming to be able to observe and to understand what is the mitzvah of Simcha. Hasimcha, the Rambam concludes, She'ismach adam ba'asiyat ha'mitzvot u'vat ha'el she'tziva mehem avodah gedolah hi ma'od. Do not think it's just smiling and jumping and drinking. That's holalut in halachic terminology. That's just being merry. Simcha is an avoda. It takes work. I remember teaching in a seminary once and quoting the Rav Nachman statement that mitzvah gedolah liyot b'simcha tamid. You're not allowed to ask questions on a Hasidic vart, but I asked anyway, which is, it's not true. We have Avelus. It's not true b'simcha tamid. And I said a Hasidic interpretation on the Hasidic teaching, which is mitzvah gedolah liyot b'simcha, semicolon. How is this mitzvah achieved? Tamid. It's through avodah tmidit. It's a lot of avodah. That's what the Rambam says. It's avodah gedolah. V'chol hamonea atzmo b'simcha, you should be punished. And he quotes what we said before. Tachat ashelo avarat Hashem elokecha b'simcha v'tuv levav. And anyone, the Rambam says, who takes too much kavod for himself, he's a chote, he's a shota, and he quotes from David HaMelech. And he concludes, and he says as follows, from David HaMelech, V'chein David HaMelech Yisrael. It says, Ve'en ha'gdula v'akavod ela l'smoach l'fnei Hashem shne'amar v'melech David mifazer u'mecharker l'fnei Hashem. He ends off the halachot telling about David HaMelech, who was going crazy. You think about the Vilna Gaon at the time of Simchat Torah, that he would dance like crazy. So too over here, the model, which you would think is really, that's what a Rosh Yeshiva is supposed to be doing, driving like crazy. Isn't he supposed to be serious all the time? The truth is, if you look at the source in Shmuel Bet, when David HaMelech was bringing back the Aron from Beit Eved Odom b'simcha, v'hiki tzoadu nosei Aron Hashem, shishat sadim, etc. V'David mecharker b'chol oz lifnei Hashem, v'David chagur ephod bar. And they would bring the Aron Hashem b'trua v'kol shofar. Then Michal Bas Shaul was watching, Ba'ara Chalon, and she saw Melech David being mefazer u'mecharkel lifnei Hashem. Vativa lo beliba. Vativa lo beliba, excuse me. She thought he was doing the wrong thing. Could very well be that that's why there was no taf, according to the Rambam. Because it's dangerous. That the rabbis and David HaMelech was going crazy. But that's it's a sikun that we want. It's going from the Yomim Noraim to be able to understand the simcha. It's not just a person who's having a l'chaim, but it's being able to understand what true simcha is. A person who comes and embodies the Torah, to take the Torah and dance with it, both during the 8 days of Sukkot that we have now, where we're going to have the Kafos, where Rav Soloveitchik explains we have the Torah in the center, to show us that this is our center. This is our simcha of the Simchas HaTorah. When we be zocha, to really learn how to really be misameach, avodah, and really then have this true simcha yetera this coming Sukkot. Everyone should have a Chag Sukkot Sameach.